From Victory Gardens, where we're talking about gardening. Is it too late to plant from seed? And proper watering techniques. How much is too much and how can you test? We've got those details up next. We'll be right back. Yeah, we're just getting ready to, well, if you haven't started your garden yet, we're going to tell you hopefully that it's not too late. But Sandra, first off, I think we've probably done lots of watering.
Yes.
What's the proper watering technique?
You want to make sure that you water down low near the roots so that your plants have a good chance to get a drink.
Okay, because a lot of people, they just sort of go, oh, good, I'm watering, everything's getting nice and...
Yeah, it can be a little bit risky to water from overhead because the water droplets can act like a bit of a magnifying glass. So in the sun, it could burn some of your leaves.
And best time to water?
In the morning.
Okay, when
Yes.
it's nice and cool, and of course it can evaporate with the daytime heat
Yeah.
too, right? Let's talk about the proper way to test your soil to know that if you need to water it and perhaps if you've watered it too much.
Sure. So over here, a really simple hand test would be just to grab some soil, and you're trying to see if it clumps. And this here, obviously, this soil here is a bit too dry. And if you grab a little bit over here, you can see that it's forming more of a good lump in your hand, and that's when you know you've got enough water.
Perfect.
Another test actually for that would just be to, once you finish watering, you could take your spade and dig down about 3 or 4 inches just to make sure you've got moisture down there. And if not, you want to give it a little bit more of a drink.
Awesome, great idea. Now for people that, I mean, obviously you've got a great garden right here all set up and ready to go, but can people still plant from seed at this point?
Oh, absolutely. There's lots of stuff you can plant right now. You can do a mix of seeds and starts this time of year. You really just need to make sure that you're checking the germination rate on the germination rate and the rate to maturity. So you want to make sure that you've got enough days left of sun for whatever you're planting by seed.
And very quickly, if you're going to plant one thing right now that's foolproof, what's the best thing?
I still say kale.
Kale is the best thing right now, Riaz. We're going to have more planting tips. Coming up next, we're talking planting. Going green with a little bit of a green thumb. And by the way, I don't really garden, so we're getting a little bit of a lesson. Yes, I'm getting my hands dirty. We are seeding and transplanting up next on BT. Hang out with Victory Gardens. Stay with us. So is that one of the good things to do? These are called starts.
Yes, they're called starts. And it's good to get some starts in the ground this time in the season just so you can get a little bit of a accelerated harvest, a little instant gratification.
How do I start with a start then? So I've got my romaine, what do I do?
So you want to squeeze the pot just a little bit
Okay.
to get the roots loose and the soil loose, and then you gently pull it out.
Gently pull it out. Okay, so far so good.
And then, if it's a little bit root bound, yours is a little bit more.
Okay.
You want to just gently massage the roots loose a little bit.
How's that looking? Can I mess this up? I mean, I don't want to damage the roots, obviously.
Just be gentle. You can kind of massage and tease them loose. You don't want to tear them too much.
Don't miss yes, okay, there we go. All right,
Perfect.
so now what?
So now you just wedge a little spot with your spade.
How far apart
it
from the
in.
last one do we want to be?
You want to be about 5 or 6 inches.
Okay.
And then you bury it just about at soil level, and you gently put the soil in and around it if you want to finish that up. And
Okay.
just don't bury it around the crown.
Awesome. So that's how we use starts, but let's talk about getting to seed. And so people can still use seed at this point, right?
Oh, definitely.
All right.
It's really good with greens too to have a little bit of starts for a quick harvest, and then have some seeds so that you have that ready later after this is finished.
Perfect. So what do we do?
So if you want to draw a line about 1/2 inch deep all the way to the end there,
Okay.
that's where we're going to seed.
And this is something you can even get kids to help out with, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, a good way to get them
Kids.
involved in growing their own food.
And getting them to eat their veggies. All right, so hold out the hand you don't write with.
Oh, that I don't write with? Okay, I like that.
And so we're just going to sprinkle them along the trench. And looking at the germination rate
Right.
is really good to show you how densely to seed. So 70% is pretty good. 70% of these are going to
So
sprout.
just sprinkle.
So just sprinkle along like this.
Just like that. Well, for more details on Victory Gardens, you can check out their website. Lots of great tips there as well. And we are going to be harvesting coming up in the next segment there, Michelle. Yeah, and I'm getting the hang of this this gardening here right now. Still working on our lettuces. Coming up after the break, we're going to harvest. Stay with us. You're watching BT. I know one of my greatest memories, Lisa, is being at my grandparents' farm. And, I just can't help it. I see peas, and I'm breaking them off. I can't help it. I can just eat this, right?
Go for it.
Oh, this is awesome. What do you have right there?
This is some cilantro that has actually gone to seed. As you can see, if you look down here, this is what it would have looked like when we would have wanted to pick it, but cilantro is kind of a cold hardy crop, and so when it gets really hot, it goes to seed, which is its genetic predisposition to end its life cycle.
And normally you would obviously pick it, I think, by the time it goes to seed, but you said you actually like using the flowers.
I love using the flowers for salads or even for edible bouquets, and the bees love them too.
Ooh, awesome. Okay, let's talk about harvesting here. And we've got some
Okay.
carrots, and I've got a limited amount of space to work with, but that's okay.
Yep, that's okay.
Okay.
So these carrots are just babies, but we're gonna harvest a few of them for our baby carrots.
Okay.
So typically when I'm harvesting my roots, I want to check around the base here to see how big it is before I pull it out. This is just a little one, but that's okay.
Okay.
And you can just hold firmly at the base to make sure that the greens don't break off, and just give it a tug.
And just like that,
Look, that
these are
beautiful dragon carrot.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Yeah.
Dragon carrots, are they nice and sweet, or?
Yeah, they're gorgeous, and when you slice them, it actually has the orange on in the center.
Nice.
So they have this beautiful,
Look how gorgeous that is. Speaking of gorgeous, I love me some good lettuce. Of course, we were planting some starts earlier, and right now
Yeah.
we're doing the harvesting. What's the best way to harvest lettuce?
Yeah, so as Sandy's doing over there, she's harvesting the greens by picking from the outside first. So Sandy, if you want to pick from the one closest to us. So yeah, pick from the outside and the bottom first, and you can just pick leaf by leaf instead of pulling the whole plant out of the ground.
And so when you pull leaf by leaf,
Yeah.
could we expect a replenishment of our leaves?
Yes, you sure can. So that's the benefit of just harvesting what we need at a time. And with this big loose leaf lettuce, just a few leaves goes a really long way.
Awesome. Some great tips this morning here. Victory Gardens. We're going to take a little break here on Breakfast Television. Up next, of course, we know the employer and the teachers at a stalemate. We've got your update in news, plus news, weather, traffic, all coming up after the break. And Victory Gardens made up of 3 lovely women. Lisa, how did you even get into business together, and why?
Well, we started off as friends, so we've known each other for a little while, and we've each been, gardening and growing food together. So we saw that maybe there was an opportunity to help people learn.
Excellent. And by the way, they have a great YouTube channel on their website teaching people many things. We're talking a bit more about winter gardening, and you have this very lush garden right now, but you need to plan already for winter.
That's right. So as you can see here, this is some broccoli and also some broccoli, but you can see there's a little bit of empty space in the middle. This is because we need to leave some space for our winter crops.
But what to plan, and you need to have somewhat of a calendar to go, right, Samantha?
Yes, you do. Now is the perfect time to start thinking about planning for winter. There's a lot you can do right now, and it just depends on what you want to grow. But anytime between now and late September is when you want to be planning.
What
your
kinds of
calendar.
things?
Well, you want to do greens a little bit later on so that you don't have them ready too soon and you have them into fall. But, there's root crops that need to get in the ground right now.
Okay, so what kinds of things right now?
Carrots, parsnips, beets. My favorite are mustards. And a lot of people don't think that you think now to plant peas, but you totally can. I also really like the purple sprouting broccoli. That's a pretty great thing to have once the season's ended and you can clip those off and get eating them. They're great.
Awesome. Lots of things you can grow now, and you can grow later as well. More details on Victory Gardens. You can check out their website, and lots of great instructional videos as well. Little time out here on Breakfast Television, and I see a little bit of cloud coming out right now, but will we actually see some rain? Russell Kate has those details. Stay with us.